It was a key inspiration. When Mary Bogart discovered her father's old Clinchfield Railroad notebooks in the attic of her family home, she discovered a late blooming talent for writing.
I went back to school. I went over to state and took some creative writing classes, and I went to workshops. And I started writing magazine articles and newspaper articles.
And all those articles finally led to her first published book. She and her late husband Frank collaborated on their own military family story called Till War Do Us Part.
Well, it's just a little bit of history, a minute bit, just the two of us, but we were there both at Pearl Harbor when it happened, and my husband has lived through most of the battles in the Pacific. We have 4 grandchildren, and my main purpose in writing the book was to give something to them to remember. I think that people have to write these histories, the ones that were there and the ones that know the story. It's imperative that they leave it to their grandchildren and their children.
The walls of war were hard to climb.
It was quite different back in World War II. There was such great secrecy in the mail and in any kind of information. Our letters back and forth were maybe months apart, so I never knew where he was or what was really going on. You had all those early years of your marriage were just wiped out. You didn't have them. And when he came back 4 years later, we were both different people. I had become very independent. I'd been raising a child. He hadn't seen his child. That's the sad part of a long separation.
The book is a mixture of fact and feelings. His facts, her feelings.
What makes this book unique is that he wrote the odd chapters and I wrote the even chapters. And you can read the whole story as one, or you can take the odd chapters and read his story, or take the even chapters and read my story.
One of the big stories after the story is that Frank never got to see the finished book. He passed away in 1993.
He was so reluctant to talk about his war experiences that he might have been a little embarrassed. But then I think he would have been glad.
And Mary's glad their story can finally be told and put on the nation's bookshelf.
Well, it's kind of like having a baby. It's my firstborn. I hope to follow it with a couple of others, at least.
And who knows, the reading public could be in for a bevy of Bogart bestsellers. In Cable Country, Tim Cable, Eyewitness News 11, Irwin.